We're like, what, less than a minute in and I've already made a mess. Oh no. Okay, so I already flung dirt all over my lap. So let me kind of just like brush this off here. I cannot be trusted. Okay, so we've got a bunch of dirt in here. Honestly, didn't need to put so much in there. And now I'm gonna put some of this orchid bark in there as well. So first off, have you guys ever imported plants? Where have you imported from? Like which countries have you imported from? And two, what did you think? Do you like it? Would you do it again? If you haven't imported, do you want to? Have you ever had any interest or curiosity in importing? Because I always did. I had a major curiosity and fear of importing. Oh, it's so windy outside. You might be able to hear it like blustering. But yeah, I was always really, really curious about importing myself and just like, how does it work? Like, is it really expensive? How do the plants come? Is shipping just up the wazoo? That's kind of always what I assumed, is like shipping is going to be like freaking skyrocket crazy high, which sometimes it is. It totally just kind of depends on where you're ordering from, like country wise and then like company wise as well. Let me know what your guys' experience is, or what your questions, concerns are, and hopefully maybe we can answer some of those today in this video. And if not in this video, maybe down in the comments, someone can answer your question for you, because we've got some super knowledgeable people here in the comments, which I always really, really appreciate. You guys are fantastic. Okay. Ooh. Wowza. Okay, so I'm doing the Summer Glory here first to repot. This guy is, it looks like he's a crawler is what I'm kind of gathering here. It almost looks like he could go either way. Like I feel like if you just trained him to go up a pole or a plank or whatever, he would probably do it. You know, might just need some major training, but yeah, really cool. The roots are beautiful too. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see, but the roots are kind of like red. Beautiful. Wow. Okay. First off, how gorgeous is that plant? Wowza. So I'm not upgrading this pot like a ton. I really just wanted to give him a little bit of extra like width up top to continue growing. Although this is a little bit wider just overall in general. It's like about the same height. Well, I guess this one's a smidge taller actually. A smidge taller, but it'll be fine. So I think I'm just gonna put like, let's see, honestly, I'm gonna try and, will this even fit? I'm just gonna set it in here and then fill around the edges. This is gonna be the easiest repot ever. And I'm gonna try and kind of situate it in a way that like, he'll have more time to grow. Meaning like, if he's gonna wanna go this way, I'm gonna try and push him as far this way so that he's got more room over here. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know. Importing. I personally have only imported from two, is that right? Yes, two different companies and two different countries. So I have imported from Aroid Market, which is out of Indonesia. And then I have imported from Ecuagenera, which is out of Ecuador. I've had really, really great experiences with both. And then also, you know, somewhat, not like terrible experiences, but like, you know, not so great, you know what I mean? Where it's not like a plant arrives dead, but a plant will arrive with, you know, not so great roots, or the roots will just be, you know, either rotted or like not really existent. That's happened, you know, from both companies, and that's no, you know, what do the kids say? No shade to either company. It's just kind of luck of the draw. It's kind of what you get. But as far as my experience goes, I feel like I have kind of experienced both things that you can get, although I will say, like I said, I haven't had any dead plants, so knock on wood, I don't get any. Or if I do, hopefully whoever I'm working with at that time will, you know, work with me and either resend a plant depending on the, you know, the whole reasoning and everything, because some companies will do that. It's really important that you read, you know, whatever company you're ordering from, that you read their policies and regulations and their rules for returns and exchanges and shipping issues and all that kinds of stuff, because most companies, if it is a reputable, is that the right word? If it is a reputable company who has been, you know, exporting plants for a while to many, many customers, they should have that information available to you on their website. Like, no questions asked. They definitely should have that. So definitely make sure that you are checking that. How many times can I say definitely? I feel like I like latch onto a word in my brain and then I'm like saying it the whole time. So I'm so sorry. But yeah, just make sure that you are checking the rules and regulations or guidelines or whatever for the company that you're ordering from, and just make sure that it looks like something that you're going to be okay with. And if not, then just don't order from them. It's all like up to you, you know what I mean? And really, your experience is also kind of up to you if you really think about it. Like, I don't mean to get too philosophical here, but if you go into something having like a really negative thought process about it already, kind of assuming it's going to come to you looking like crap or just something like that, you know what I mean? Assuming it's not going to be good and that you're not going to be happy with whatever you get. When it gets there, you're going to be looking for all of the negatives and maybe even just seeing past any of the positives. So you don't necessarily want to do that. You know what I mean? You want to kind of go into things with an open mind and kind of understanding that there are risks involved with importing plants, with shipping any plants really, but especially when you're importing from one country to another, there are some risks involved. So before we get into the risks though, let's talk about the benefits. And let's move on to the next plant here because this guy is all done. I'm going to see how long he lasts in here. I feel like I kind of need to stake him because now he seems a little bit wobbly. So we'll see. I might shove like a couple chopsticks in here or something. But Summer Glory is done. And let's do this Plumania. So benefits of importing plants. First one goes without saying. You can get plants sent to you that you can't get or find anywhere in your area, even from, you know, private sellers or anything like that. You can't find these plants anywhere, but you can order them online and have them sent right to your door. So that's pretty amazing right off the bat. Like, I mean, what else do you really need to draw you in? So other than that, you can also find plants for an extremely, extremely good price. Again, this is all depending on where you're ordering from and all that stuff and what kind of plant you're looking for. All of that is going to be very dependent, but usually you can find a plant online from a seller in another country selling a plant that even if you could find in your area, it would probably be maybe multiple hundreds of dollars or something like that. Something crazy expensive, you know, that's like, if you're me, that's kind of out of the question. Like, I just can't do that. But you can find those plants for sometimes under $100, sometimes under $50, and for like a really good sized plant, especially if you are, you know, shopping sales and stuff like that. So you can find really, really good prices. I'm just gonna say it. And honestly, that's, oh wow, this is way more root bound than I thought. Look at this. Woo! See those roots all in there? Those look beautiful. Okay, and I don't want to disturb them too much because it is working on a new leaf. So I'm just going to put a very light layer of soil into this pot here, and then we're gonna pot them up. Hi, come here. What are you barking for? Hello. Hi. Come here. You're okay. Come here. You're okay. Hi, you wuss. I know it's windy out there, huh? It's windy out there. I know it's really scary. I know it's really, really scary. Yeah. Hi. You're okay. Quit your barking though. No barking at wind. Okay, so yeah, not only can you find plants online and have them sent to you that you could never find anywhere near you, you can also find them at really good prices, and you can usually find them at like a really good size as well for the price, which it's like, you know, freaking triple whammy. And I'm also going to say, based on my experience, shipping, oh my gosh, so windy. Shipping is usually not too crazy. Again, totally depends on who you're ordering from, but specifically from Ecuagenera, their shipping is usually only around $15. It's really, really, really reasonable. So definitely check them out if you have been looking to try importing plants. Hey buddy, you're so cute. If you've been interested in importing plants, definitely check out Ecuagenera. I'm going to link, of course, all the shops I'm talking about down in the description for you guys so that you can check them out for yourselves and see if there's anything that you have been hunting for forever that they just so happen to have at a really good price, and you can just get it sent to you for also a pretty good price. You might want to do that. And also, those places are always having sales. Both Ecuagenera and Aroid Market, they are frequently doing sales, I should say. So definitely don't be scared to check those guys out. I personally, like I said, have had really good experience with them. But you guys were barking and I feel like I totally lost my train of thought. Man. Anyway, yeah, importing plants is just, honestly, I would say there's so far, for me, there's more good than bad. That is for sure. So as for the cons on importing plants, I would say the scariest one is well, actually, there's a couple scariest ones. For me, the scariest one is getting a plant delivered and it's like really cold outside or really hot outside, either extreme conditions, and it's left somewhere and the plants arrive toast, just like totally dead, not salvageable whatsoever, and also not being able to, get my order salvaged, and essentially just having wasted a good chunk of money. No matter how much money it is, it's a good chunk because you work for it, you know what I mean? So that's always, I think, my biggest fear, and I feel probably most people's biggest fear with importing plants is just getting a dud and not ending up having any plant, but having spent the money. So that is my biggest fear. Another big fear, I think, is just getting scammed. I personally have not had this issue. I feel really fortunate to say that, but I'm also very, very cautious. But sometimes, no matter how cautious you are, you could still get got by somebody. So, which sucks. But, it's a big fear that people can have, and it's definitely warranted. But I would say, as long as you are doing your due diligence, making sure that you are ordering from someone, from a company or a person who has a ton of reviews where you can like speak to people who have purchased from them and, kind of see how their plants are doing, see if they still have those plants. You could even DM someone if you've noticed that they've purchased a plant from a place that you've been looking at and say, hey, I see you got this plant from this seller. How was your experience? I've been wanting to buy a plant from them. And, no harm, no foul. If they don't respond, they don't respond. But I'm pretty sure someone would respond to you. I mean, I personally would have absolutely no issues with that. In fact, I have had, a couple people message me asking about the different places that I've ordered from, saying, hey, what did you think? And that's absolutely okay. I feel like we all need to have more information available to us, and not be afraid to share it, because why the hell not, So yeah, just do your due diligence. Make sure you are seeing what the company is about, seeing if it is a company that you want to support and that you're comfortable supporting with, or that you are comfortable with supporting, because, even if you're not touting them on social media or something like that, if you're giving them your money, you are in the end supporting them. So just make sure that it is a company or a person that you are okay with doing that for. Okay. Do you want to hang by the Plowmania, cute boy? Hi. Hi. So from my experience with risks of importing plants, personally, I have had some plants come to me not looking great. See this video up here or over here somewhere. See this video somewhere up here, of my most recent import. It's a wintertime import. So, risky business from the start. And yeah, it didn't come to me super great. It wasn't terrible by any means. It just wasn't anything like ordering in the spring or summer, I feel like fall and spring are probably the most ideal times, at least in my area, to import a plant, because the weather is just the nicest. You're not going to have crazy, crazy highs or crazy, crazy lows. It just seems to be a little bit safer overall. So yeah, this winter import was definitely a risky one to do, and I knew that going into it. So I was not upset at all about any of the conditions of any of the plants that I got. All of the, foliage itself looked good for pretty much everything, but you know, we had some rotted roots, we had some roots that just weren't really there. And you know, again, it's just kind of the risk you take with ordering and importing. Plants do have to go through a really rigorous system before they can leave the country and then come into our country. They have to go through all kinds of testing, cleaning, all kinds of crazy stuff that I don't even know about. But I'm sure that if you really wanted to like get deep into it, I'm sure there are plenty of videos. I will try and find one actually and link it down in the description for you. That way you can see for yourself exactly what plants go through, at least for, you know, 1 or 2 countries or something like that. Because I'm sure it is different depending on which country you are coming from and going to. It's everything is going to differ. So it just kind of depend on where you're going and all that stuff. So that being said, don't be too afraid and don't be too discouraged, because you got to remember too, even if a plant comes to you looking pretty rough, even if the roots are toast, even if most of the leaves are toast, anything like that, it's a plant. And as long as you kind of know what you're doing with whatever plant that you got, you're probably going to be okay. You know what I mean? And honestly, even if you're not, I feel like everything like that is just like an opportunity to learn and grow as a like plant parent. So even if it does end up dying, don't let that discourage you from trying it again. You know, same seller, same plant, different seller, different plant, but whatever. Don't let it deter you from trying again and seeing what you can do. You know, I'm sure if you just try it again, you can probably grow that plant even better. Maybe it'll come to you a little bit better. Maybe try a different time of year, something like that. Like I said, ordering in like the winter time and maybe even ordering in the summertime, depending on where you live, can be really, really difficult. But, you know, sometimes it's worth it. For me, it was worth it. You know, I wanted something fun to look forward to this winter. And so ordering those plants was that kind of fun thing for me. It was kind of like a little Christmas present to myself. And personally, I feel like it was totally worth it. I think doing the little bit of rehabbing that we're going to have to do is totally fine. And that is the next part to talk about. Rehabbing your plants. No matter what you get, how it arrives to you, anything like that, you are going to need to be doing a little bit of rehabilitation on the plants that you get, because I mean, even if they come to you looking absolutely perfect, there is still going to be an acclimation process, most likely. And you probably will see some leaf drop, maybe some root rot or something like that. You're probably going to see something like that. So don't let that, I'm going to move this so you can kind of see Sixto because he's so cute right here. But yeah, you're probably going to end up seeing something like that. And don't let that make you scared either, because like I said, acclimation is 100% normal. And honestly, it's just kind of necessary. It's just kind of, it comes with the territory of having plants and importing plants, is they're going to need to get acclimated. They're going from usually their absolute ideal conditions, somewhere really nice and hot and humid with, you know, no crazy drafts and all that stuff, and the perfect potting medium that they want. And then they are taken out of their substrate, taken out of their home. They're washed and sprayed down with all kinds of stuff to get them ready to go from one country to another. They are put in a dark box for a week or more and sent across the country to you, going through all different kinds of shipping and handling processes, different temperatures, all kinds of stuff. And then when they finally land to you in your lovely home and your lovely conditions, they are still different conditions than where they started and where they have been for the last like week plus. And even like before shipping, there's like a 1 to 3 week period where plants are going through that strenuous process of like getting tested for pests, getting washed and sprayed and all of that stuff before they even go on their shipping journey. So you gotta kind of remember that too, that they're doing a lot of stuff to get to your environment. And once they get to your environment, that's going to be another kind of shock for their system. Almost always. There are, of course, those amazing plants that are just like tough as freaking nails. Like, I don't know, some of my philodendron that I've imported haven't shown a single sign of like acclimation or anything like that. And that's amazing. But I wouldn't expect that. Do you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't just like bank on that. I would bank on some leaf yellowing, some leaf drop, something of the sort. But when that growth happens, it's going to happen and it's going to be amazing. And then the whole thing will be like totally worth it. So yeah, don't be scared of acclimation. Welcome it, prepare yourself for it, prepare yourself to kind of isolate that plant. There's all different kinds of things you can do to, get your plants kind of flowing and ready to be going into a substrate. Some people go right into a substrate. Some people put their plants in water for a while. It just kind of depends on your personal preference. So far for all of my imports, I have ended up just like putting them in water for, I don't know, 3 to 7 days, something like that, depending on how much I have going on, And then just putting them into a substrate almost always. If they if they needed like a little bit more root action before I was comfortable putting them in the substrate, I just leave them in the water usually. But yeah, that all, like I said, depends on your personal preference and your growing style. But yeah, it's so fun, you guys. It's so fun with all of like the, nervousness that you can go through before the plant gets to you and all that stuff. It's worth it. I personally think it's totally worth it. The fact that we can find such amazing plants that we could never find anywhere near us is just incredible. But on that note as well, do be mindful of what kind of plants you're getting. How rare are they? And like, what kind of rare are they? Do you know what I mean? Like, are they just rare to find in your nursery, or are they like majorly botanically rare? Because if that's the case, you definitely want to be making sure that you are buying from a reputable seller, that your plant that you're buying has not been poached from the wild. Depending on what kind of plants you are looking for and stuff, that either may not be an issue whatsoever, or it could be something that you really need to be mindful of. So I would just say to just keep your eye on that. If you are looking for something that is like ultra rare, just do some research and see if that is a plant that has been having issues with getting poached from the wild. And then if it is, you want to ask your seller what their sourcing is, and just make sure that it is all as legitimate as you can ensure that it is up to it. I mean, we can only do so much, but do what you can to make sure that you are buying from legitimate sources, because we don't want to be, supporting poachers out there. It's not good. We saw Mighty Joe Young. Those poachers are bad. These poachers are also bad. So, you know what I'm saying. If you haven't seen Mighty Joe Young, also a young Charlize Theron, love her. And who is that? Is that, I want to say that's Dennis Quaid, but I know that's not right. I can't remember what. I'll put it up here. I'll put the thing here so you can see the poster or something like that. But oh man, classic movie from my childhood. But yeah, those poachers are bad, real bad, trying to kill Sir Mighty Joe Young. And yeah, plant poachers are also a no-no, because yeah, that stuff is scary. We won't get into that today because that is like legitimately scary. But ooh, do you know what is also scary? The roots on this plant. Oh my God, there's it's so windy. I knew that there were not very many roots in there. Like I knew that this wasn't a root-bound plant, but whoa, that's really bad. Okay, so I'm actually going to pot this into an even smaller. Do you know what? Oh, this is sad. I'm going to chop this up. So I'm going to set this aside because I have another video planned to go through our prop box, which is looking a little crazy. We need to pull some stuff out and we'll put some new stuff in. So I'm going to set this guy aside and we'll take care of that together like tomorrow or something. Maybe Tuesday. Maybe on my early day we'll do that. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Oh, hi. I love you. You're such a sweet little boy. Oh, gosh. You're just got the sweetest sounds ever. Okay, this spring and summer, I do really want to try importing from different companies, different sellers and stuff like that, just to see what is out there, what I can find. And then I just want to be able to like tell you guys more, you know what I mean, about different companies and kind of, you know, what to try, what to avoid. You know, I'm definitely not scared of sharing a poor experience if I do end up having one. But yeah, dude, can you not? Sir, can you not lick yourself right now? That's a bedroom thing. That's a bedroom activity. Yeah. This is the plant room. Sorry. But yeah, I'm definitely not opposed to sharing any poor experiences if I have them. Like I said, though, all of the like not so great import experiences that I have had, which I would say this last one is probably like the most iffy import that I've had just because it's the winter time. Like I had a feeling. I knew what I was getting myself into. It wasn't a shock or anything like that. But I would still say that those were totally successful imports. But if I do ever have a, you know, a not so great one, I'm definitely not shy to share that with you guys because I think that is just as important, if not more important, to hear, because people need to know what we're getting ourselves into, especially when we're spending like our hard-earned money. Do you know what I mean? Like, oof. And things are expensive right now, so if we're like spending fun money, it needs to be worth it, at least in my opinion. Okay, so I totally like beheaded this Maranta lemon lime. I didn't even tell you what it was. I just did it. So sorry. But yeah, this was my beautiful, well, once was beautiful Maranta lemon lime. I am chopping her up. I chopped her off at the base because it looked mostly like this, as you saw. So now we're just going to get rid of all the dead stuff. I'm going to leave like a little knuckle node there to put in water, and we're just going to put them in water and call it good. Once they get rooted up after a few weeks or something, a little over a month maybe, then we will go ahead and pot them together in just some regular soil. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Wow, we are not keeping much. These are the only two that we're keeping. So I'm keeping this little cutting, so tiny, and this guy. And that's it. They're just gonna go in water. And then yeah, like I said, we'll check on them in a few weeks and then pot them up or something. But that'll be a fun little plant. It'll be cute. Nothing crazy. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us for this video. I hope you enjoyed talking about some importing ups and downs, pros and cons, and hopefully I didn't scare you too much about importing, because I really feel like it is something that is really fun, really worth it, especially like I said, if you are doing your due diligence, making sure that you are ordering from a reputable company or seller. Good communication is key, so as long as you are having that open line of communication with your seller, you should be pretty solid. So yeah, let me know what you're going to be importing soon or next, or if you haven't imported yet and if you just got the courage to do it, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. You're such a good boy. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Look at that sweet little paw right there. Look at that one right there. Look at that little chin right there. Hi. That's a good boy. Mwah. Mwah. Should we clean this mess up? Let's clean this mess up. Oh yeah.